Hello everyone, and welcome to the League semifinals. And who do we have here? We have on the left side, on Sedlitze in red, playing Task Force 45. Mr. Onord out of Turkey. And on the right side, bringing in the spam division with the 10 hit point tank now, but Ryu playing the first Lovash. Not the most amazing 2000 long range division, so it might struggle around here, but yeah, just and this area over here could be quite good for Lovash. And on the other side, T70 is coming up, both playing Maverick, but let's have a bit more look into the detail about how they play the Maverick. Okay, let's start with Lovash, or maybe not. Oh, I just closed that. Okay, let's start with Task Force 45. After all, Task Force 45 brings around quite a lot of firepower here. It has converted gunners, two cards of them in A from the US, one card of them from the UK, the 15-man squadron. It's just there to eat shots, whilst the converted gunners for 25 points are the ones that deal the damage. One more card of them in C phase, and then in B phase, we rely on Nisei rifles with 2-star veterancy, 8 of them per card, together with some engineers. I'm not quite sure why he didn't talk to normal engineers. I'm pretty sure they're better, but maybe he just does it for the flavor. Who knows? M42s around here for the anti-air, together with M15s, so really good AA tab. In the air tab, oh boy, 4 B-25 Mitchells, the full gore fighters in A, another fighter bomber B-51 in B, and the recon tab also has some lovely pieces like T-70. Converted gunner is not completely busted anymore, but still a really strong unit. But on the other side, for okay, no, what? Oh, I have to go here. Yeah, for Quadro U, professional stream, guys. Semifinals. We have some lovely Terrans that now have 10 hit points. And those are pretty healthy. And the Hujaroks, quite equal in firepower, I would say, to the converted gunners. Quite equal in hit points also to the converted gunners. So it should be quite interesting there what the Hujaroks and Hujarok Goliors can do against the converted gunners. Together with some light support in artillery, some decent support in the air. Recon tab not quite as strong. AT tab though, pretty solid. And AA tab also really reliable with the 36M 40mm, which is basically a Bofors. So that should be quite nice. No Nimrods, no. That's a bit of a surprise, but the Bofors is still pretty good AA. We have some M10s on the battlefield. These have APCR, as it is in American deck. So they have 2000 meter range APCR shells, so they can be really, really dangerous in the middle for anything that runs into them that is armored. The APCR shells here, pretty healthy. HE shell, still 1750 meter range. Only 10 of them, so you have to be quite careful with how to use them. But okayish HE shells as well. On the other side, a lot of Schwalose coming up. Posca, some AT gun as well. Overall, from the guy with the low self-esteem. Let's see how he does in this game. Scots, converted gunners US, T-70s, and cavalry scouts coming around. And I gotta be back in a second because I have to turn on the light in the room because it's getting dark outside. So yeah, 12-12, obviously for now, as both sides are still setting up, or at least one side is still setting up, as we still see more units coming in for Quadro U. The question is, what will he bring in? Tyran ones are on the way. On the other side, as I said, converted gunners in mostly US form here. No British converted gunners just yet. Yes, all American converted gunners. 10 of them already. But that still means, as we saw, 14 remaining in A. A hell of a lot of them in the deck of Onord. On the other side, we have some Pioneer TNT units for the south. North, the Schwalose. More Schwalose coming in the far north. Tyrann coming in there as well. I'm not too happy with Tyranns in the middle. Like, you shouldn't really use them around here. Especially if you don't have any artillery for smoke or mortars for smoke in A. Like, maybe with smoke play you can do a Tyrann train in the middle as well. 10 hit point Tyranns are quite dangerous. But they're also a bit more expensive now. So, just ramming them down the enemy throats mindlessly, maybe not that way to go. Maybe not the way to go. Tyrann 2 coming in the south, together with some sniper team. It's in the north. Got some leaders. Scottish Valhauser. Got one Hujara Golyorsk, I guess, to defend the town hall. But there's not a big assault on the town at all. So maybe needs to go on to the offensive there. Capturing some flags off Quadro U. That's over here. Over the Gunners US. Will come in to get into this section of the map. Golyorsk, 2 of them coming in. We'll go around here. Turkey Parosok will come in as well. Löwe Zitz will come in here as well. Accidentally fucked up my tank tab. No Shermans in A. Well, that mistake. Or is that not the right decision? Who knows? No, I'm pretty sure you should have Shermans in A in that deck. Let's have a look. I forgot what he had in his tank tab. Tank tab? Yep, Shermans only in B. Some of them with double star white from C. Okay, that's quite interesting. Support Shermans also all in B, but hey, at least 4 M10 tank destroyers and 2 T-70s, which should do the job somewhat well as well. Especially as you can, even with the especially with the T-70, you can kite 2 rounds pretty well. If you get them at the right spot, 70s can do pretty well, but you don't want to run them into a 40M. So you gotta be careful there. 40M is trying to aim. Schwalhauser is aiming. MG over here gets engaged by the Schwalhauser. And the 40M. Another 75mm unloading behind them. Tyrann moving forward. T-70 is engaging the Schwalhauser. Careful that it doesn't get engaged by any of the AT guns. M8 coming around over here. In the north, we got some Hujara Golyorsk coming in. Ammo Pioneers on the other side. M8 moving forward. Can it get a kill onto the transport? Would be quite nice. Getting the first unit here killed so easily. And it does. Bad unload there by Quadro U. Valhauser moving forward. Trying to get into the enemy. Hujara Golyorsk also moving in. More normal Hujaroks coming in there as well. Arkazok moving in the south. That's in the center. A couple more Awarded Gunner US have appeared. Together with a recon plane in the skies. Something that Onord always likes to use. Beginning of a game. Converted Gunners coming in. Even if you bait out an enemy fighter, that's often somewhat worthwhile. And if they don't do that, you get a lot of intel onto the on the enemy and what he's doing, what he's planning, with the help of something like an A20. The A20 is even somewhat survivable and somewhat microable, so getting it killed is also not as easy. Well, like, yeah, for the enemy. M8 is disengaging. Converted Gunners moving in here. Quite a bit more numerous than the Hujara Golyorsk, but Hujara Golyorsk have 3 LMGs versus only 1 on the other side, so they have a bit more firepower on the longer ranges as well. 75mm is engaging the HMG over here. Will be able to pin it down most likely. Yes, there we go. Got a really good hit. Putting off 2 hit points with 1 hit there. Hujara Golyorsk engaging the M1 Pioneers. M1 Pioneers were a bit exposed there. And will get melted in a second. Tyranns slowly moving forward over as well here on the T-70. What's in the south? The first B-25 comes in. Focke-Wulf with bombs tries to stop it. Not quite having the stopping power of a Focke-Wulf A8. And Paul Gore is out. Oh no. Oh, that's a dangerous engagement here for the Focke-Wulf. Has to try to get somewhat home without getting killed off by the Folgore. But the Folgore is a really maneuverable and agile fighter, so you have to be really careful. Oh, oh no. Oh. Okay, Folgore is still on the tail of this Focke-Wulf. We'll get some shot off. But Ryu gets hunted. The Italian gets hunted by the Italian plane. Focke-Wulf trying to dodge, but the Italian plane is staying on its tail, and now it runs into the defensive gunneries of all of the other planes as well, so even those might be able to kill it at this stage. Yes, there we go. B-25 should be credited with that kill. That rear gunner got the kill onto the Focke-Wulf 190. Gore claiming its first victim together with the B-25. And that makes the air trap quite dangerous. Solid defensive gunners on good bombers, together with pretty agile and somewhat fast fighters. Gores, not the best damage output, but obviously as long as they stay behind you and can fire at you, they will deal the damage at one point. And against fighter bombers especially, they can be pretty lethal. We saw that happening there, and the B-25 do the rest now. Air superiority created for Onord there with that kill. And this is bad news. First AAPs comes around, but that won't stop B-25s from coming in. Meanwhile, T-70 gets microed over here, pins down some infantry. Turan's on the march forward though. Has to be careful against these. One hit of the Turan 2 should be the end of the T-70. So you don't want to engage on this range. Converted gunners though, holding the ridge here against the Hujaroks, holding the edge of the forest. Do pretty well. Turan 2 engaging against an HMG. Would be able to get the kill. Another APs coming in for Quadro U. As I said, they don't really save you against the B-25s. Another Focke-Wulf fighter bomber is trying to bait Onord here, I guess. Might work out against the A-20. Should be able to get the kill there, but Focke-Wulf is also not a good fighter bomber to use as a fighter, as it is really not the most agile planes as a fighter already. So making it a fighter bomber, making the situation even worse, doesn't give you the most agile plane. So turning around and trying to chase something, not that easy. Gore now trying to get the kill, might go a bit deep here. Might get shut down by the AAPs, or should get shut down actually by the AAPs. Let's see if that happens. Yes, okay. So Onord getting baited. Might also get baited here in the south. Now it's the Hujaroks with the good cover. Hujarok Golyosk with quite a bit of firepower. One of them was a bit low though. Fighter bomber comes in to pin down a couple more of the converted gunners. Hujaroks standing the ground, dealing solid damage. Focke-Wulf should get the hell out of here now. More Hujaroks, Golyorsk and Akajok coming in. T-70 still alive in the south. The M10 still alive in the center. T-70 over here went down. Ran, I guess, lamed the first victim there. Tuck 40 also in the rear here now. Meanwhile, Focke-Wulf is now strafing, okay. M15 is around, will force it back. T-70s around as well. Golyosk holding the line pretty well with 3 LMGs. Thorn doing their job. Another converted gunner running into them. Down to only 3 hit points though to Golyorsk. And we'll fall back for now. Trying to catch up with the other ones. Maybe try to use them as the meat shield while still keeping the firepower around. Would be a good move. Keeping them somewhat behind the other ones. 12-12 is what's going on. Only Onord had so far slight ticks on Quadro U, but nothing of importance in that regard so far. 81mm mortar is coming in here in the rear. And that one is quite good in bringing some lethal explosion to the front lines, as it has a radio. And radio mortars are really accurate, nearly pinpoint. And that can be quite dangerous for more expensive infantry units, like the Hujar Golyorsk. They can be really cost effective against units like those. Also hard to counter battery, as it is on a mobile platform, so it can dodge enemy incoming artillery somewhat easily, especially if it is in open terrain, where it is moving faster. In light cover, a bit harder for it, but still manageable. 81mm mortar though, shooting at positions where there is not even anything. Like both of these positions where it's shooting at, nothing there. So Onord reading the front line somewhat wrong. And well, more converted gunners coming in. But it's the first bunch of UK converted gunners. A couple of them already have arrived now here in the north. These don't even have near the firepower of normal converted gunners, but they're also 10 points cheaper, and they still have the same amount of good hit points. 15 hit points for 15 points. That's a really good ratio of point cost to hit point cost. So that regard, they're really nice. Tyrann here now engaging in M8, an engagement you don't want to take with an M8. Tyrann has higher rate of fire and more hit points, gets the kill onto the M8. Converted gunners now disengaged there as well. 1311, 4 quad review. Another B-25 coming in here. Meanwhile, Tyrann's in the south. And the 81mm mortar is rolling forward. Tyrann's rolling in as well. Converted gunner US. In the open. Doing the push again. This time no Hojar Golyorsk keeping them from it. No fighter bomber keeping them from it. So they should be able to get in, and that's a bit annoying. Only one Akajok with TNT to stop creep them there, but the Tyranns maybe can put some damage in. But they have to be careful. Cavalry scouts with bazooka are around. Just waiting for a moment like this. And let's see how long Onord needs to react here with his cavalry scouts. His converted gunners are somewhat under fire, but now cavalry scouts are reacting, and that's obviously not healthy for the Tyranns. The Tyranns might be able to get out of there before the cavalry scouts get a shot off, as they're just driving through. Trying to go for the surrender. Get the first surrender. Oh my god, this This one should be able to get the B25, or at least damage it far enough that the other one and the AAPs should be able to get it. So yeah, first B25 hits the ground, hits the floor, warning as a wreckage. Jargalios coming in over here. Ammo Pioneers having good line of sight on reinforcements. 2 Shermans coming around here. Jagdpanzer and 2 Terrans waiting for them. T-70 also still around. And 3 Schwalose able to stop all the infantry pushes in the middle, but next mortar is around here. Wolf Fighter Bomber stopping some of these saber builds in the north. Ujaroks don't want to be revealed because the M8 Scott would make mincemeat out of them. But with the Jagdpanzer being around, the M8 Scott might become the hunted after being the hunter. Iran engages Nisei rifles over here. Always have to be careful around forests now with the Nisei rifles though, as your Terrans don't take bazookas too kindly. M4A1 versus Turan 1 in the engagement over here. Turan gets killed off. That's the Fokker Wolf. 190 F8 comes in with some bombing run over here. Pins down some forces. Can there be a surrender on them? Ujargalios gets the first surrender. Can it get more surrenders? Jagdpanzer 38T might be able to move forward. Ooh, plane gets shut down over here. Was that another B-25? Yes, that was another B-25. So, Quadro U getting the kills onto the important airplanes. Getting some other important kills as well. But 2 Shermans pushing him out over here. Jagdpanzer panicked as well. M10 and Sherman combo quite dangerous down here. Ujargaliorsk trying to push on here. 1410 for Onord right now. 1311. After capturing some flags back. And it's back for 1212 for a second. The flag in the south is playing pinball right now. Lovesh coming in as well. Sherman over here. Engaging the Schwalose. And Turan versus Sherman on medium range. Still not a fair fight for Turan usually, as Sherman's every hit penetrates, whilst Turan still bounds with a lot of them. Schwalose versus converted gunners. Slowly but surely killing them off. Lovesh and Ujargalios versus Nisei rifles and converted gunners. Interesting fight here as well. Ujargalios though not helping out, but Lovesh will get annihilated there. Mortar trying to bully the AAPs further. AAPs still falling back. Jagdpanzer now on a range where the Shermans shouldn't run into it. One of the Shermans went down. M10 though can take the engagement. Will try to take the engagement. Let's see how that goes. Down to only AP shells. No APCR shells left. No resupplies so far in the south. Whilst then M1 8-inch 203mm artillery piece has reached the battlefield as well. And that one can deal some damage. Quite a big piece of artillery. We're gun over here. Trying to deal with the US with the Schwalose. Schwalose, one of them get pinned down by the M4. 105mm. And the HMG. So the converted gunner now get in range. Might also be able to get in range of the Schwalose over here. And maybe even get too close for the Schwalose to engage them. I should be able to deal with them. Not Schwalose. Still having slightly over 100-meter range engagement here. And is able to pin them down. Damn. Good job on that, Schwalose. Really important there. Holding the front line for a bit longer. 4 reinforcements to arrive. 40 M and 2 Jaroks on the way. Trying to save that. Meanwhile, ATPs over here is around to try to deal with the M10, but the M10 was able to deal with the Jagdpanzer before. The UUUU, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're enjoying your time here. M15 engaging onto the Ujargaliorsk. Hope you're having a mighty fine time with the semi-final. It's surprisingly close. Really good engagement so far. Really good game. Really enjoying what we see here. J87 D5s coming in. 105mm Sherman is retreating, but there is no way around behind it. Some in the north. Maybe it can get in range of that, but I'm pretty sure the J87 should be able to drop. Question is, can there be fighters to at least make them pay dearly for the kill they will get. Oh no, they miss! They miss! They dropped too early! Oh, disaster! Disaster struck here for Quadro U. They hit the old last known position of the 105mm and they don't hit. They don't get the kill. At least he gets the plane killed, thanks to him using the GH-75 as a direct fire platform, but M15s might be even able to kill one of the J-87s here. Yep, one will go down. So still not a good trade here for Quadro U. 59 now for Onord. Onord really putting the pressure onto the Italian over here. 40M is coming in. Meanwhile, Turan trying to engage the converted gunner. Schwalose helping out as well. Löwesch is pinned down. Panzerjäger and Turan 2 sitting around over here. 59 is taking M10. A1 engaging up to the north. Löwesch under fire. Schwalose engages the converted gunner as well. 40M pushes on over here. Ujar Golyorsk come in from the rear. Kajak as well. That's another 75mm will roll in here. 14-10 for Onord. Quadro U is getting ticked down. Let's see how this goes. Can Quadro U bring it around? I'm not quite sure what he has for deeper pushes. I guess he has to rely on a Turan AT gun plus infantry combo. But I'm not quite sure how good that is in the late game. And we are now in the late game. As both sides are now also down to low income. One big AAP is coming in here for Onord to fill that gap that he had in his air umbrella. That one is now filled. And the M2 90mm also helpful as an anti-infantry gun. 2000 meter range. Not anything that directly firing can do much against that. No IG-33s, no Gorillas also around. No Storm Tigers for Quadro U, so M2 on the long ranges can bully him. 50 HE shells versus ground targets as well. Nisei rifles stopping the Löwesch. 14-10 is happening. Löwesch and Ujar Golyorsk moving in the north. Focke-Wulf trying to hit the ammo pioneers. Will get the kill. While M8 Scott is trying to help out as well. Putting some damage on the Löwesch. 97/38 moving in as well. 59 though, again for Onord. 12 minutes on the clock here for Quadro U. And Onord is trying to keep it up at that 59. Artillery pieces now coming in for Quadro U. See what they can do. But we have a really big gun that for sure can deal some damage on the side of Onord already. 203mm is now firing towards the 40mm over here. 40mm AAPs at least keeps on moving, keeps on disengaging. So still on 4 hit points, but one direct hit of the M1 gun and it would be put into smithereens. J88 coming in for the Nisei rifles. That could be a good bombardment with 4 250kg bombs. That could be quite juicy here. Bombs are dropping. AA shouldn't be good enough to kill a J88. And bombardment does at least put everything on fallback, but not quick on that. No surrenders will happening. But the Ujar Golyorsk and Löwesch should at least be able to get forward to that ridge. Focke-Wulf's now coming in, but the M2 AAPs and the M15 should be able to keep them at bay. So the 820 keeps flying around. 76mm artillery pieces now trying to go for the M2 gun, as Quadro U has identified as a target of high value as well. Of high importance here to try to get that killed. Try to keep it at least at a 14-10 for a while. And then trying to find a way back, because 59 gives him only 10 minutes. Only till minute 35 to recover from this situation. And 10 minutes don't seem long enough. Like, he gets air superiority bit by bit and so on. He maybe also takes some good engagements lately on the ground, but are they good enough to get this back in time? I'm not quite sure about that. We're gonna US also engage the 75mm here now, and that's not healthy for the 75mm, especially not on that range. Focke-Wulf fighter bombers trying to come in. Coming on onto the other infantry part, but good fallback there once more. And yeah, that's it for the 75mm here. Should be killed off in a second. Oh no, actually survives for now. But there's nothing to help it out. Surviving more later on. Hujarok's still coming in. J38 now coming in with bombing runs. At least get the converted gunners pinned down. But also pin down the Schwarlose. So it still gets surrendered beforehand. Which is a bit of a shame. If Schwarlose wouldn't have been pinned down by that, they could have maybe gotten surrendered the other way. But at least the M2 gun is pinned down, so the J87 can come in again with the cluster. This time hopefully not losing line of sight. Nope, this time the cluster is good. This time the cluster is fully juicy. Gets the kill. Question is, will it survive the way out? It will most likely, because the M15 is somewhat out of shells. Well, it's close. A lot of 50 cals still hit it over time. And now the 37mm was engaging. Question is, does it engage well enough from down there? And the answer is no. But 16-8 for Onord. What can Quadro U do about it? He needs to do something about it. Question is, what is in him? Maybe some tanks in the south. After killing off the Sherman here would be nice. Sherman is killed off. M10 is still around here though. I didn't see that. I just saw the M8 Scott. But the M8 Scott also might go down. Yep, M8 Scott goes also down. Only one M10 here in the south as a tank. Does he have smoke on these guns? He has smoke on these guns, but the guns are pinned down due to counter battery of the M1 203mm. Focke-Wulf F8s still trying to hunt down the 20mm, the A20. Will at least get a bit more ammo out of these M15 trucks, but due to the supply truck they will not make it run out. Focke-Wulf fighter bomber in the center, also doing well. As I said, air control is in the hands of Quadro U. You don't want to lose your Focke-Wulf like that, chasing down the A20. That might get close now, because it nearly directly flew over this M15 on the way out. Might make it out, well, it's close. Not quite sure. Yeah, looks like it will make it out, but heavily damaged. What is the situation in the north? Converted gunner US is getting pinned down here, but still M8s and a Sherman behind it. Tyrann and Jagdpanzers might be able to do something around here, but there's another M2 gun in the far north, so pushing down this lane doesn't seem too healthy. 76mm might be able to help out, at least trying to pin down some infantry, or maybe the M2 gun again, or maybe some bombing runs that could change things. But meanwhile in the center, converted gunner UK's engaging against Lovesh. Lovesh actually should win this, because they have an LMG, whereas the converted gunners UK don't have that. More Lovesh coming in, but 16-8 still taking. Only 7 minutes remaining here for Quadro U. Can it be done? Flamethrower units came in here together with Hujarok and Hujarok Goliorsk. More Tyranns coming in over here. Another Tyrann 2 down in the south. Hujaroks and Lovesh engaging in here. Meanwhile, the north still in slow mode. Got this flag still captured by Onord, this flag captured by Onord, this flag captured by Onord. And don't know which one is the last one. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah. Those are the 4 flags Onord currently keeps control of. And Quadro U at least needs to reduce it into only 2 of them somewhat soon, and then try to go for the big counterattack in the long run and maybe get it up to an 18-6 in the long run. But even with time limit, and still 25 minutes, or 26 minutes actually to go, time limit comes of an essence already. Every second you get ticked down, you have to tick down the enemy later on as well. Especially on a +2 tick, means you need to tick down the enemy 2 seconds later on. Lovesh Hujaroks coming in over here might be able to get this flag. The Lovesh over here also maybe should be able to get this flag back. That would reduce it to a 1 tick. Down in the south, Nisei Rifles versus 2 Hujaroks. Mortars though, and 203mm. Putting in the effort as well. Ooh, the 203mm doing a good job here against the Kerek Harazok. Putting them down. Allowing the converted gunners to push and maybe get even another flag. That would obviously be quite painful here for Quadro U, who's on the way of getting a 1410 here for a second. Artillery pieces also still trying to get the M2 gun here pinned down so that bombers can come in easily again. And as the M1 gun is currently occupied in another way, might be viable. Don't think the J38 dropped any bombs this time, as AA did its job. And AA actually might do its job good enough this time, together with the M2 gun, to actually get the kill in here. Oh, it's getting close. Oh. Okay, J88 makes it out, but needs to get repaired. M2 gun number 3 is around here. Jaguars got the flag though. 13-11 only. Only one tick now. So Quadro is putting down the speed a bit, at least, at which he is losing, but he's still losing. So what can he do about that? More Chirans is the answer he's bringing to the table. Let's see if that's the correct one. Yes, he reduced most of the tanks in the north. There's not too many Shermans we have to remember. There's still a bit more of A10s, I think, in the deck of Onord, but you don't really want to buy A10s against the infantry heavy deck. So Tyran 2s might be able to help out with the push up here in the north. If he can break this position somewhat, that would be really, really juicy. Maybe even getting killed onto the M15s, but in the meantime it's going actually the other way around. 17-7 now for Onord from one second to another. From 13-11 down to a 17-7 as all these flags here fall again. And this makes it quite close to an 18-6, and an 18-6 would be an absolute disaster. 17-7 already horrible, only 4 minutes remaining. 18-6 obviously would put that into half once more. And the Logash over here got bullied quite hard. Awarded Gunners should be able to win versus one of them. 17-7 still happening. Ujarok versus Nisei Rifles should go for the Ujaroks, but they're under fire by some long-range Shermans, and that was what I was talking about. That's why I don't like Lovash too much on this map, because the center part, not too hot for it. Focke-Wulf Fighter Bomber, though, doing a solid job, but M2 gun still around, so the J87 shouldn't be able to get there. M15 also coming around, and Onord really playing to the strengths he has over his enemy's divisions, controlling the 2000 meter range engagements. J87 D5 under heavy fire. Ujarok also coming in here in the south, but how much can they do? J87 actually going down. Focke-Wulf now trying to come in as strafers, but that is also dangerous for them. There's enough AA to maybe kill one of them as well. Not quite focus firing here is Onord, but that one still should go down. And so it does. M2 90mm still on the fire, but the 76mm is really not known for the heavy damage. We need quite some lucky pot shots to actually get the kill of them. Focke-Wulf Fighter Bomber over here gets its bombs off as well, turns the right direction, but still will take heavy damage. Still might go down as the M15 was directly in front of it, in front of the lane it came into. And 14-10 at least now, but a lot of casualties lately for Quadro U to get to that 14-10. Whilst he didn't kill any important units on the side of Onord. Onord has a lot of infantry. Infantry is a really affordable thing for him. His support units is what he can't afford to lose, but they survived the last couple of minutes quite well. His Sherman 105mm, his T-70s, his M2 guns, his M1 guns, all survived the last couple of minutes, whilst the Tyrans, the lanes on all of these key units, these key combined arms units that Quadro U needs to win this game, got killed off, so I don't quite see how Quadro U can bring it back. Even if he would slow it down now, even if he would bring it back to a 12-12, I don't see how he wins in 22 minutes with the stuff he has. It looks quite grim here now for Quadro U. And he might not even get that much further, as Onord is still somewhat pushing into him here. Ujaroks versus Nisei Rifles. Can the Nisei Rifles just run over them? They might be able to do so. They have Thompson. There are quite a couple more. They also have more veterans here, so it looks like it. Recon unit will not stop them either, and also won't stop the front line, so it will be a 14-10 again. Yep, Quadro U now pushing in the north, but the 6-pounder is coming in, and there's still too much here to just run over it, and that's kind of what he needs now, because he's losing the center completely. M2 gun still alive, artillery not able to get any more damage on it. Only a bit more stress, but that's not good enough. 59 ongoing once more, only 1 minute remaining here for Quadro U. Can he bring it around? I don't see how, but maybe the Italian can do it. There's not many players Nah, but no. No, 50 seconds. This is over. We will go into game number 2 soon. It's not gonna happen. I just don't see a way anymore. 40 seconds. His air power is broken. His tanks don't have the range. All the combined arms here for Onord even got better in sea phase. Even though with the low income, Onord was still able to bring in a bit by bit more combined arms and keep it alive. And that's really the key. He kept it at a long distance, not overextending at any moment, just keeping it at a 14-10, 15-9 continuously and getting the victory that way. And doing a pretty good job at it. No, maybe a bit overeager, but who cares? He has it now. So, he can afford these losses. 5 seconds remaining here. Even if the tick speed would change now, it wouldn't really matter. And Onord wins game number 1 versus Quadro U in the right way. Like, taking the 2000 meter range engagements in the center was the right way of doing it. He also took some good engagements in the south at the beginning, but really the key was controlling that center of Shadrin, Sedlice, and that is really where I also saw the weakness at the beginning of the game for Quadro U, and Onord exploited it perfectly, getting him the W. And that's why he is in Division 1, and now one step closer to the finals. Question is, can Quadro U stop him and get the next 2 games, as it is a best of 3, so Quadro U needs to win the next 2, as Onord is basically at match ball. And with that said, let's see you all in game number 2 in a second. So here we go, game number 2 of the second semi-final of the SD League Season 7. And on the right side, our player in blue is under pressure. Quadro U needs to win this to keep his tournament alive. His tournament run alive. And Onord only needs one more W here to make it into the finals versus Gonzo, waiting for him there. And that should be quite interesting. Exclamation mark bracket gets you to the bracket if you want to see how both of these players got here. And Quadro U needs to win it. And the division he brought around for doing so is first Piechotty, the first Polish, Tyruca. On the other side, Onord says, what ain't broke, don't fix it. Brings in Task Force 45 again. But he made some changes to it. Not many, but he did some. Infantry tab, still the same. But you can see, it's Onord 2. It's not the same deck as before. Less bombers, one less bomber. More AA. And I guess he's scared of IL-2s. And Sherman's RNA phase. A couple less anti-tank weapons as well. I guess that's also mainly based to the map. But no veterancy on his M10s anymore. I guess he believes that they can beat T-34s any time of the day anyways. Whilst on the other side, what we got out here for Quadro U in game number 2, forgot to make them big screen, is T-34s and IL-2s in quite a lot of different forms. And then Streltsies. Streltsy LKM, Saperzi Rocks, which are only 30 points now. Dejan Shalgovis and half tracks, more Saperis and more Strelky LKMs. And the good thing about the Strelky LKMs, which are that unlike the Strelky DPs and the Guardia DPs, which lost their SVTs back in the day, these guys still have the SVT rifles, so they are dealing quite a lot of damage in mid-range engagements. And yeah. Here we go. Oh boy, low self-esteem game going on both sides. Now what happened? What does Steel Vision do with players? How do we end up with this low self-esteem? Semi-finals of one of the biggest tournaments we have in this game, and these two whining about how shitty they are. Sure guys, sure. Yeah, 37 coming around. Ognias coming around the north. Bruzhnya Shtomova as well. Whilst down the south, Dejan Shalgovis, together with Streltsies, coming in there. M2HB coming in as well. Together in the middle, converted gunners. So yeah, interesting light setup in the south. Cavalry scouts, maybe to get around and get some bazooka shots into the enemy rear as we go in here. And on the other side, BA-10s coming in quite a lot of PTRS, which I guess want to sneak around here. The cavalry scout might actually be perfect to catch that. Oh no, they did not going the fully southern route. Okay, so let's see what the PTRS sneak can do. 2 of them go frontal, 1 goes for the sneak. In the north, PTRS going for the frontal engagement as well. Meanwhile, in the center, also 2 PTRS. So 7 PTRS on the map already. Let's see if they can get any kills. If you can say, but Division 1 players make this mistake as well. Or if Onord is too good on his unloads. Usually that's what you want to do with the PTRS in Division 1. You want to force the enemy to unload earlier. You don't quite expect them to get kills, but the unload position is already good enough of a victory for the 10 points you invest into each of them. Oh, but, you know, cavalry scouts get out. Most likely will get the kill on one of the PTRS. Also helpful against light vehicles, but there's no half tracks on the other side. Against M8s, they can also be somewhat annoying later on, or against T70s. Meanwhile, so the backer gets killed over here. Well, Squad Review is under heavy fire there in the center of the map. And Sherman coming in the north. Cavalry scouts is around. PTRS on the way for the sneak. There's Sholgovi. They've arrived in the forest. 14-10 for Quad Ryu. Both sides with Maverick again. Somehow the front line bulges out in the north, but converted gunners and the Sherman should fix that. The flamethrower units here, moving in forward. Družina Stormova are following behind them. The Družina LMGs, HMGs cut out over here. More CQC units pushing forward here. Streltsies are the normal Streltsies, like same as the Strelki with the Mosin Nagant. These guys don't have the SVT. This 3 though, moving to the north, but both of the MGs got killed off here by the T70s and the heavy HMGs of Onord, so the center is under heavy pressure. Also getting shots on to the 37mm, you don't want to lose that. Helps you out keeping your IL-2s alive. Helps you out winning the air game. You don't want to lose that against the T70s. No anti-tank gun around though to stop these T70s from rolling forward. So they will keep on bullying stuff. Strelki LKM, as you can see. SVTs instead of Mosin Nagants compared to Strelki DPs or Gaia DPs. Still chilling around. No SMGs though in that squadron. M42 Amata coming in, but these don't have the range. You really don't want to have them actually on this position. That's kind of a panic buy, because they don't really help you against T70s. T70s just can stay out of range. Having them on this position, not much will run into them that they actually will be useful against, so even that investment, not good for Quad Ryu. Sys 3 here, in danger. You have to be careful of that. Meanwhile, HMG gets disengaged here. yeah, good work. Yeah, work is also something I'm searching at the moment, so probably will get a bit more busy outside of streaming soon as well again. Having a couple of interviews upcoming this week again, so that's why I need a haircut in over the upcoming week as well, for sure. So guys, should be fixed soon. Strelki LKM, we're engaging onto the converted gunners over here. Converted gunners doing a deep push here. So I will be in shape for the finals on the weekend. Obviously will be done in suited up mode as well. The finals should come up this weekend. M42 pushing forward. For more information about the finals, check out the Discord or any of our other social media channels, but Discord is the safest way. You can find it all down below. 1311 here for Onord. More converted gunners coming in. M4A1 rolling in as well. And HMG engaging the Strelki. Strelki, though, yep, will get pinned down. T34 coming around. Polish, one of the best tech back in the day. Still a pretty good tech now. Still pretty cost efficient all around. But T34s are not as amazing anymore since they don't have 2000 meter range anymore. And since they have also 250 meter less range than tank destroyers or Panzer IVs. And not quite the accuracy or fire rate of Shermans. But still somewhat decent. As tanks still, because they're pretty cheap. Only 55 points. And you get a lot of other cost-efficient units as well. Like all your infantry pretty cost-efficient. As I said, Strucky LKMs with the SVTs really helpful. And the tank tab, CIS-3s and M42s quite good as well. And the IL-2s in this deck are insanely cost-effective. Quite good bombers. 1410 button though for Onord, who is doing the same as in game number 1. Over the Gunners in the north, Sherman running in here, 59 ticking now for Onord, completely controlling the open ground, just like in game number 1. Taking a division that just can do that a bit better, and playing to the strengths. Pushing with some heavy MGs, followed up by some T-70s, and against the heavy MGs, you don't have the unit to deal with them well in the open. You don't have any 2000 meter range HG, you don't have any good tank that can deal with them, you don't have your own HMG that can deal with them, so quite a bit of a problem. But you could win the forest fights, and he's doing that in the south right now, which could maybe balance it out in the long run. L2's disengaging, full gore should get light up by the 37mm relatively soon, so it most likely shouldn't be able to get the kill here. Maybe I'm wrong though. Nope, L2 warps out into another universe before the full gore can come around. 37mm warp speed was activated there. Might be able to get the full gore once more. Nah, I don't think the full gore got close enough there this time. But M8 Scots have line of sight onto that 37mm now, and that is not healthy for the 37mm. Not healthy whatsoever. M42 is now trying to push forward again, but this slow push here by Onord is working wonders. It's working amazingly well, and that's what I said, you don't want to have M42s around here, they don't really help you. CIS-3s maybe more so, but M42s, they don't win against the HMGs, they don't win against the tanks, they don't win against anything here basically. And yep, T-34 is also not around to help out either. So this push is really putting pressure onto Quadriview, who's trying to respond with a push in the south, but it's not going quite the same speed, quite the same level of success that his opponent has in the center. So he's struggling heavily. Question is, can he maybe bring it around? But what is the reinforcements he need now? T-70s? I'm not sure about that. M42s, no. Could now get some shots onto some tanks. Question is, how effective will that be? CIS-3 gun trying to come around from the north. Trying to kill at least the T-70s off. If you kill the T-70s, you can come back in with some T-34s and roll this all over. If you kill the T-70s, T-34s kill everything here. Or even your T-70s, which is quite a different unit. Quite a bit weaker. But it might do the job as well. M42 down here. Gets a shot up onto the T-70. Doesn't quite get the penetration. CIS-3 gun coming around from over here. Should have gotten one step further forward, I guess. Will get one more shot. Will get the T-70 killed. And now you can roll in here with some T-34s and at least fix it for a while. Saperity Rocks coming in here. Only one flamethrower, but 2 DP unit for 30 points. Quite effective unit as well. PPSHs and SVT. So quite decent in TQC as well. Easily dealing with the cavalry scouts. But the ammo pioneers will be able to deal with the CIS-3 gun over here. One of the M8 Scots going down as well. T-34s is what you need now. Universal carriers might be helpful as well. T-70s coming in over here. Trying to deal some damage on the front line. But yeah, CIS-3 gun goes down and the push might already have been too successful before it got stopped. M42 now engaging HMG, but is out of HE shells now. And T-70's not the most amazing damage dealers in the game. 16-8 here for Onord. How far can Quadriview push it back? I feel like there could have been more T-34s, no? Ooh, cavalry scouts got around. Got kill on 2 transport units here in the rear. PTRS down here got cleaned out. Got 1 kill at least as well, but yep. Onord now coming back in here, and the push of Quadriview is under threat of fizzling out because it doesn't get the reinforcement it needs. So really good kill there for the Cav Scout. Has more heat shells remaining as well. Meanwhile over here, M8s try to deal with the T-70s. T-70s though, get one of the M8s already. Can they get the other one as well? One penetration, it looks like. One of the T-70 bites the dust. M8 will get another shot off against the other one. Will that be a penetration? No, it will be a bounce, as T-70 has some decent frontal armor. M8 doesn't, so M8 goes down. Universal carrier here with the Dushka, with the Bren gun, is engaging. Wait, does the Bren gun have more range than the Dushka? Or why is the Dushka not engaging here? Oh no, it is engaging, it just doesn't show it's firing. Okay, interesting. Universal carrier with Dushka also engaging onto the HMG here. But HMG also can engage Dushka and maybe can even kill it off here. Dushka, no, they can engage units up to 10mm frontal armor. And Dushka exactly has those 10. IL-2 also has to be careful. Got the cluster bombers off, but didn't quite get the kill. And Folgore will try to come around again. More T-34s coming in on the north. IL-2 will try to protect the other IL-2 from the Folgore. Can it do so? Ooh. Will be interesting. I'm not quite sure how well this lineup will work for the IL-2. It might work out perfectly. Onord is not trying to test it either. Oh, get some shots in. Okay. This IL-2 now needs to be careful. 16-8 though, here for Onord. As he has put a lot of pressure in the north as well. Lost one flags in himself, but only one, and got all the flags in the center. Even the deep ones here from Quadro U. Up to an 18-6 now, and the Folgore should be able to deal with this IL-2. IL-2 is under heavy fire out of 50 cals as well. 37mm of the F-15. M15 also engaging, but Folgore not quite able to get there. So IL-2 should be getting out. Good micro there by Quadro U overall on these planes. Trying to keep them alive. More Streltsys coming in. M10 tank destroyer is around. Trying to get some shots in onto the T-34. Trying to get some shots in onto the Universal Carrier. Will get the Universal Carrier. One flag gets back under control of Quadro U, but at the same time, Onord is getting back the flag over here, and this is really bad news. T-34 actually can take this engagement here for Quadro U, as the frontal armor of these Shermans is not good. But yeah, you want to take it one hit Sherman at a time, and in CQC you maybe don't want to take it. Longer ranges though, it's a bit safer. Sherman doesn't really penetrate you that well, and you can penetrate these Shermans quite okay. But 19.5 obviously not healthy. Onord keeping the pressure coming. Not that deep in his push in the north, but still deep enough. Like, that's what your converted gunners are for, just keeping the fluff around, keeping the push meaty. And this slow but methodical engagement over here worked out wonders for Onord. Strelky LKM coming around over here. And yeah, might be a show here from Onord why this division is still quite high up there in a lot of tier lists, and why you still maybe should consider banning it. 24 now for Onord, and it's getting really close to the end here for Quadro U if he doesn't fix it anytime soon. Ooh, lost. Cavalry Scouts got another T-34 killed. T-34 in itself fell to the Sherman in the CQC scenario. M10 is still around. Engaging that one is not easy. And Quadro U surrenders. And Onord is our second finalist. GGVP here to Onord. Will get into the finals against Gonzo, which should be played Sunday at the 10th of April. Time still not announced. Keep around on Discord for knowing more about the time. And yeah, GGVP here to Onord. 2 clear victories with Task Force 45. I would expect Gonzo to ban that division against Onord, but we will see. Maybe Gonzo is not a big Task Force 45 believer either, and we'll leave it open twice or 3 times as well. Yeah, Gonzo versus Onord will be the finals. Quadro U will play in the 3rd place match against Pantix. The 2 guys with the low self-esteem in the battle there. Should be quite interesting, as we will update this now. No, that's Division 5. So let's go to Division 1. So we can put in the result over here as well first. We saw that earlier on the Twitch stream. Oh, please, no. Too long, please, thanks. Well, let's go to Division 1, where Onord is taking the 2-0 lead over Quadryu. And will play against Gonzo in a best of 5 finals. That should be hella interesting. As these two have matched in a couple of tournaments lately, mostly monthly tournament. And Onord actually got the W there over Gonzo. So let's see how it goes. So Gonzo didn't play full-on meta divisions there and so on, so Gonzo that is fully ready might be a tick more difficult, but Onord seems to be the player that I would say has the best shot of taking down the Gonzo. So that should be really, really cool at Sunday. If you have time at Sunday, make sure to come around. It will be on YouTube obviously as well at some point, but if you want to see it live, be around at Sunday for that one.